Welcome back, everybody. This is White Mountains Today. I'm Chris Proulx in the North Conway studio, and this is Kate Wetherell of Lost River Gorge and Boulder Caves in North Woodstock, New Hampshire. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me, Chris. It's great to be back in person.
We're going to give you kind of some inside scoop on one of my favorite attractions in all of the White Mountains, Lost River Gorge. For those who haven't been there before, give us a little overview of what this experience is like.
Yeah, so Lost River Gorge is located up in Kinsman Notch at the height of the land, just about 6 miles outside of the town of North Woodstock. We are a 1 mile long wooden boardwalk trail that makes a loop and meanders its way along the Lost River. We have a series of 11 boulder caves that visitors can choose to explore or bypass, and an expansion that's a few years old now that's sort of outside of the gorge and also incorporates a boardwalk.
And one of the things that I love most about Lost River is, first of all, it's a natural attraction, so it's not something you can find anywhere. You can't build a Lost River anywhere else but right where it is. But I also love that when I go into these boulder caves, this giant gorge, I feel like I'm reliving the story of the Lyman Brothers, one of my favorite parts of this attraction. Can you give us a reminder of the Lyman Brothers adventure?
Yeah, so we have been operating since 1852, and the brothers actually were out on a fishing trip. They'd made their way up through Kinsman Notch from the town of Woodstock, and we're just sort of poking along the river. Apparently back a long time ago, there was a little more moss than there is now, and one of them slipped down through a hole and actually landed about 6 feet below in this big opening, which is today what we call Shadow Cave at the end of the gorge.
Wow, I can just imagine these young boys out there fishing, probably with like their cane poles or something, and all of a sudden they find themselves like literally going down the rabbit hole in Alice in Wonderland, finding this gorge. And it's a wonderful attraction for people of all ages. They like they like it for different reasons.
Right, yeah, the kids are of course really into exploring the boulder caves. A lot of them are tight, they're just naturally formed cracks and crevices where some of the boulders fell. So we actually, sort of the infamous lemon squeezer is the one that most people have heard about. We have a gauge that you actually have to shimmy through. If you can make it through that, you can squeeze your way through the cave itself. So the kids are very excited about that. And then the adults, of course, just the natural scenic beauty. Paradise Falls is our sort of center of the gorge, our 30-foot waterfall. Lots of cool flora and fauna and interpretive signs along the entire walk that explain a little bit about the geology and the history and ecology.
As I get older, that's my favorite part now, is actually stopping at each interpretive sign and reading about the history, the flora, the fauna of the area, while the kids are just like, hustling from one cave to the next, trying to get through. And the caves are really cool. They're all lit by kerosene.
Yes. Yep, there's just enough natural daylight in some of them to be able to make your way through without any lighting, but there are lanterns in there to kind of aid, and then we always encourage folks to bring headlamps if they want to, so they can kind of get up close and into the little cracks and crevices and explore with some light.
And one last thing that I like, on a hot summer day, it's nature's air conditioning. It's always like misting and just cool and comfortable down there too.
Yeah, yep, it's always roughly 10 degrees or so cooler. You come up from Lincoln and Woodstock, and it's a nice, refreshing spot to be.
All right, and you guys have a great lineup of events that you put on through the summer. Let's talk about the Squam Lake Science Center. They visit you once a month?
They do, yeah. So we've got a date in July, August, and September. They'll come in on a Saturday morning, and it's a live animal presentation with a naturalist from Squam Lake Science Center. So they will be focusing on New Hampshire wildlife and marvelous mammals and why do animals do that.
And I think they actually bring an animal or two when they
do,
come for these,
yeah.
don't they?
They usually bring a couple or a few sometimes. The presentations are held out at our forest treehouse, and we've seen owls and skunks and a beaver on occasion.
Do they ever get loose and go in the caves?
They don't. No.
You also have yoga coming to Squamish. That sounds like an incredible venue for yoga.
Yeah, we are very excited. We're partnering again. It's been a few years with Live a Little Fitness out of Lincoln, and it's a 6-week series on Sundays, beginning the first Sunday of July, July 3rd, and running through the beginning of August.
That's fantastic. So how do people partake in Lost River? Do they need reservations in advance? Can they just show up at the door?
Yeah, so we are highly recommending reservations in advance. You just head to our website, lostrivergorge.com, and you'll find our calendar and you can book right there. We are still reducing our capacity just to sort of spread people out throughout the day and make that experience a lot nicer in the gorge. There won't be any lines, for example, to get through the Boulder Caves. So yeah, we're highly encouraging reservations. Certainly folks can still walk in, but they'll find a better deal online, and there is no guarantee that we'll have availability.
Okay. So book online, and that website is?
Yeah, lostrivergorge.com.
Easy enough. I highly recommend it, Lost River Gorge. The kids will absolutely love it. I haven't met a kid who hasn't loved Lost River Gorge. So hopefully we'll see you out there this summer. Did we miss anything?
I think you've got it all covered, yeah.
All right, lostrivergorge.com. If we did miss anything, you'll find it there. Kate Wetherell, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
You're watching White Mountains Today.